Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, he owns one of the fastest growing cleaning companies in the state of Texas. The secret to his success, next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I can't think of a more recession-proof business than the one that my next guest owns. It's the cleaning business, and he has one of the fastest-growing cleaning companies in the great state of Texas. Darwin Fajardo is in the studio. He's the CEO of DF Cleaning. Thanks for coming on the show.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm anxious to hear your journey. When did you get into the cleaning business?
So we started this business about 2 years ago. I have a sales background, so I did sales for door-to-door pretty much for 3 years. I started it in Austin, so the big city for most of us here in the U.S. I started it door-to-door, pretty much just asking around if anybody was interested on getting their home clean. Perhaps me. I was getting my house cleaned by my cleaner. I was paying $160 a visit every 2 weeks. So that's $320 a month, and I started doing my numbers in my mind, and then I understood, okay, there's a business side to the cleaning. And as long as a business owner with that mindset comes and grasps the business, it can be a booming industry as long as the leader wants it. So I started 2 years ago, started knocking doors. My first week, I had about 25 customers just my first week. I had a pitch that I built. It was just, everything was coming together. But the biggest thing was how to find great people. That was my first roadblock, let's just say that. My mindset when it came to building the business was having enough customers to be able to afford one more employee. That was my mindset, and starting from there, now we're at 16 people. We have about 300 customers between Austin and Dallas, adding an extra 20 from Houston, and we're 16 staff, 2 admins and myself, and we're running this.
Well, congratulations. I love your hustle. I mean, nobody goes door to door anymore, and when you get really thick skin when you go door to door, because they sometimes say you got to have 100 no's to get a yes. Was it humbling to go door to door?
100%. I mean, I think anybody that wants to thrive in business has to try door-to-door sales because of 2 things. The experience it brings, and then second thing, you come to become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So you said it yourself, you probably get 50 no's to get 5 yeses. But that's a 10% success rate. Most of the people won't sign up for that, but if you get a 10% success rate throughout a whole month, you're looking at about 30 customers. So I think it's all about perspective, but at the beginning when you're starting door to door, you don't have that perspective. It comes through repetition, 3 years, months of actually working till it works. And I think it's just great. It's the master. I think going door to door, it's the true college experience that you need, like for a master's degree in business. That's how I see it.
I love that. We've got some video from your cleaning service, and I want you to brag about your employees and what kind of team you've assembled. Let's go ahead and roll the video and have you kind of narrate.
Got it.
So what do you look for in a great employee?
I look for student mentality. I look for a great attitude. I'm a believer of hiring for attitude, training for results, and then reliability. Just a person that sees the opportunity in the problems, not the problem in what's going on. I like solution-oriented individuals that we can come up with cool solutions to solve problems with, and at the end of the day, whoever solves more problems gets paid the most. So
Yes. Okay, so you started out with residential and then you started to branch into commercial. Tell us how that happened.
So I remember on my first commercial client, we were at 60 customers in residential. And one of my customers in the residential side asked if we did office cleaning. And I was like, yeah, perhaps we do office cleaning. I mean, as long as there's a customer, we do it. So we started his business, and his business was big enough. I mean, we're talking about a 20,000 square feet building. And I was like, okay, you want to do a monthly cleaning? No, it's every day. So that was the first experience I had, like, okay, the commercial side is the real side. Because in a house, you're cleaning once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month. But in a business, there's people every day there, so it needs to be cleaned daily. So that was my first experience. Then I got referred to another one, and then I just went business to business. Hey, I already work with your neighbor there. I already work with KB Custom Pools. I already work with the biggest engineering firm in Bee Cave, which is in Austin, Texas. So that was a good startup point for us. And after that, it was just a matter of gravity, things happening.
Talk about customer service, because I know one of the things you're passionate about is making sure that the customer's happy. Where does that dedication to excellence come from? Is that mom, dad? Is that the way you were raised?
Yeah, I mean, mom and dad were both hard workers. I mean, my mom's a doctor, my dad's an entrepreneur. But I think the root of creating happy clients is creating happy employees. I think it goes back to the people that are servicing your clients in the front line, right? So I haven't talked to a client like maybe in 2 weeks, but I'm 100% sure one of my employees already talked to a customer. So I got to make sure their enthusiasm and their attitude is always on point, because that's a reflection of the leader.
Yes.
So if you have a great culture, you have a even better customer experience, because your employees are doing it to make you look good.
Yes.
Because they're not doing it just for the money and for having a job. They're actually caring about the fact that they're pursuing a career within your company. And that's when I think the culture maximizes.
Yes. And it must be nice to get compliments about employees. I mean, I'm sure that you get fan mail or fan emails from people saying, hey, thank you so much for this employee, because this employee goes beyond the call of duty.
Yeah. No, we got 2 stars that I always get comments off, which is Julie and Robert. Funny enough, those are the 2 people that I talk the most. So I got the most influence on them. And so the reason why I work hard too, it's not just because of me too, but I got these 2 people that I got to make sure their families are well fed, and their teams are well fed as well. So It's a higher purpose, not just money or company growth. It's a higher purpose.
Sure, and I want to brag about Darwin, because he has now become known as a culture expert, and you appear on different broadcasts. In fact, I want to roll some of this and have you talk about it. The show is called The Hustler Habits?
Yes. Hustler Habits podcast. It's hosted in Las Vegas. And yeah, I was there about 6 months ago. So invited to.
That's awesome. And you're a snappy dresser. I got to just, if we had a shoe cam, you would see his Gucci's right now. But does it feel good to educate people on not just, starting out as an entrepreneur, but how to assemble a good team and make sure that the culture is working?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was that one person looking for the right information 4 years ago. And now that I can lead that part, now that I can feel like I've gotten the experience, and not just the experience and talk about it, but actively doing it as of now, it feels great. I mean, my job as a leader of a company and developing other businesses, not just the cleaning side, is impact, which is helping enough people what they want to get out of life, and I'll eventually get what I want. Amen. So my focus is on that.
And Texas is such a great state to do business in. It's a very work-friendly state. What other markets are you eyeing? Would you go to San Antonio next, or?
We got 3 customers in San Antonio.
Oh, no
so
kidding.
We do like a day trip and then we come back. San Antonio is a good market. Oklahoma City.
Yes.
Oklahoma City, Tennessee. There's some markets. San Antonio is definitely something that we're going to make happen in the next 5 months. Like, we're going to have an actual team that can service 7 days a week.
Wow.
I mean, as far as now, I don't want to diverge my focus, because Dallas, Houston, and Austin is enough until now to focus on those. I want to get each location to produce $3 million a year per location, And then after that, I feel I can take a step towards outside of the state.
Wow. When did you know you would be good at business? Have you always known it? Were you good at, like in high school? Were you a pretty good?
I mean, always in high school, I used to sell tennis shoes. I used to sell cell phones. I've always been obsessed with cash flow.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, and even in high school, in elementary, I used to collect all the cell phones from my uncles. I got like about 6 uncles. So when one iPhone will switch to the new one, I'll collect all of them and then pay them a fee and then go sell it to my classmates. And then most of my classmates didn't have money to afford an iPhone. So what I would do a payment plan for 2 years. I'll still see them next year and they'll pay me a monthly fee. So my focus was getting more people. Like I had like 10 people. So you multiply the monthly payment times 10 and that was the money that I was counting on per month. So to say that I've always been into business, I've always been, just at different scales every year.
Okay, in the final, we got about 2 minutes left. In the final 2 minutes, what advice would you give to a young entrepreneur? Because it's become very sexy to start your own company and do your own thing, but entrepreneurship isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
How do you know whether you're built to be an entrepreneur?
The number one thing that I look for people that really want to make it in business is their ability to learn. The student mentality. If you don't have a student mentality, you won't be able to learn. Doesn't matter if you have the best teacher in front of you. The teacher appears when the student's ready. So the student has to have an open mentality, an open mind, and that person has to be curious about what can he or she accomplish. If that person's not curious about what he can get out of life, I don't think it's a great fit for entrepreneurship.
Wow, what a great segment. Thank you so much. We're going to end with the website, which is dfcleaningservice.com. Darwin, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.